Hey, house guests, welcome to today's Big Brother 25 updates and spoilers. Hope you're having a great Saturday so far. It always throws me off how echoey it is in here. Our house guests of the day are Ken Wong and Holly Noel. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. Yay! Can you guys hear me? I see it. You guys have been chatting a lot in here already, which I love, but can you hear me? Yes. Okay. Thank you. I always need that confirmation because I get so paranoid that I'm talking to no one. Thank you. Okay. Before we get started, I also want to thank yesterday's super chatters because that's a fantastic way to support our channel. Our channel. So Fabio Andres Fabiani, thank you so much. Laura Dalton, Brandon J, Sean, he's in there. Susie Jill, Dane Thomas, APB 9869, True Teddy. Mary Ellen L. and Dasha Romero, thank you all so much for your super chats yesterday. We appreciate it. Yes, this is a different venue. This is my apartment where I will be streaming on Saturdays. So welcome. Okay. So we have a lot to talk about. When we left off yesterday, Hisam, the HOH, was preparing to make his nominations. Now, he already knew exactly what he wanted to do going into his one-on-one conversations. He was planning on nominating Riley and Cameron, with Riley being his number one target. He was saying, like, I want to give her a chance to play for the power veto because he believes that backdoors are cowardly. And his reasoning for Cameron going up is because, let's face it, if Cameron wasn't on the block and he won the power veto, he'd be very tempted to use it on Riley, right? So now this neutralizes that threat. And if Cameron were to win the veto, he'd have to use it on himself instead, unless he was doing something wild. So anyway, Cameron at the time was Hisam's like backup target number 2, just in case Riley comes off the block. So Hisam was using his one-on-ones to get as much information from people as possible, but like he was also doing the most. I was seeing a lot of comparisons online. People comparing Hisam to Kylan. Remember Kylan's HOH meetings? Oh my God, too much. Yeah, so he was asking very direct questions about like, who are you working with? Who are you targeting? Where do I fit into your game? Where do I fit into your mid game? Late game, like what do you see me doing with you? It was a lot. It was refreshing and entertaining to watch, but I'd be worried if I was on the other end of one of those conversations. So he was also very direct in his conversation with Cameron, one of his future nominees, and he told Cameron straight up, yeah, I'm gonna put you up on the block. And Cameron honestly took it really well. He was like, yeah, you're really saving me the trouble. Now I don't have to worry about looking like a jerk if I win the veto and don't use it on Riley. So he was like, okay, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, Jared, in other news, was stuck in the nether region on Thursday night. And we saw he was able to interact with the house guests via the memory wall. It was hard to hear him, but he was able to chat with people. It's kind of pointless though, because it's not like it's a private conversation. So you're kind of just saying like, hey, don't forget about me. I'm still in the game. But it's not like you can like have any game conversations or anything via the memory wall. I think that was part of the reason why he only called really once. He was like, there's no point in doing this. It's a waste. So yeah. After he came back, he had to send someone else to the nether region. And it turns out he picked Jag. And this was not just like for funsies. Jag is actually safe for the week now. What? So that's pretty cool. At first I thought it was just for nominations because he wasn't going to be there. But no, he's safe for the week. Damn. All right. So let's get back into it. Let's get back into Hisam's one-on-ones. Now he's talking to Riley in the HOH room. And Hisam, throughout these conversations, was all like, how are things going? Like he was like super positive and stuff. And that continued into him, like, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Not hypothetically, figuratively, not literally, figuratively, stabbing people with a knife. How are you feeling? um, so this conversation, Riley's like, "Oh, I'm just happy to be downstairs this week. I want to take a breath, start over with a clean slate." I mean, of course she wants that, right? She effed up last week. So Hisam says, "I'm so thankful that I got to watch your HOH because it informed me of what I want to do with my HOH." Damn. Basically, your HOH was a train wreck. I don't want mine to be like that. But no, he says, "Seriously, thank you. Like, I underestimated how tricky it is. So thank you for being the first one." So Riley, again, is saying she would like to just clean slate everything, start over, take things slower, and she would love to rebuild with Hisam and Izzy. That's nice. That's really easy to say when you're in trouble and trying to stay off the block. So she apologizes for making Hisam and Izzy feel left out last week. And she says to Hisam, "If you have it in your heart to work with me, I would love that. If not, I totally understand that too." So Hisam says, "All right, I want to be really transparent with you. We're in week 2, and the only person mentioning anyone's name is you. And that name is mine." Yeah. It's definitely not true though. Like, a lot of people have been mentioning a lot of other people's names, and there were more people talking about Hisam as a target than just Riley. So he's kind of like singling her out here, but I definitely remember like that whole family style, well, not the whole family style alliance, but a lot of that core of family style talking about Hisam as a target. But Riley owns up to it. She's like, "Yes, I did mention your name. As I told you before, it came from a place of paranoia, and I messed up." So Hisam says, "I get it. I'd love to work with you in the future, but people are going to be weirded out if they know that you were dropping my name, and they know that I know, and then I don't nominate you. So I don't really have much of a choice in this." So he says, again, he doesn't believe in backdooring people. He's telling Riley, "You have the chance to save yourself here. I appreciate you as a game player. You're a strong competitor. So, do it up in the POV competition." So Hisam then asks Riley, "Who would you like to be next to you up on the block?" That's a lot. So he does say it's going to be someone that you were aligned with, in that 5 handful alliance. Obviously, it's not going to be Jag because he is safe this week with the Nether region twist. But Riley's like, I'm going to leave that up to you. I really think that should be your decision. It's not really appropriate for me to make that call. I mean, he's definitely fishing for names here, right? So Hisam says, again, that he would want to work with her if she stays. But he, like, really wants her to go. He doesn't say that part. But Riley, at one point in this combo, is crying. She says she really wants to stay. She says week 1 was a bad representation of her as a player. And she says this room really screwed her over. I don't think it was the HOH room. I think you were very messy. You jumped the gun on putting together a half-house alliance, and then you made no attempt to hide it. And you were talking to everybody about who you're working with and who your targets were. So, a lot of mistakes were made. But Hisam is encouraging her to fight for that POV. Okay. Meanwhile, Suri and Izzy are chatting in the storage room. And they both agree. They feel like Jared made the right call picking Jag for safety this week. Suri's like, "You know what? I need to give Jared some credit. I got to let him do his thing." And Izzy agrees. She says Jared is playing it smart. And she says Jared should really try to hold on to this position in the middle of the house between the two sides as long as he can. I mean, yeah, he's working it right now, right? And Suri says, "Yeah, that's why I didn't want Jared to win HOH." Yes, because if Jared won HOH, he would have to show his cards, and it would be very obvious which side he's actually on. It would be really hard to explain that to the Family Style Alliance. So then Izzy brings up, she feels like Riley is going to combust this week. We saw how emotional Riley was last week as HOH when she had like the easiest HOH ever. And now here with Riley being up on the block and being the target, she's probably not going to take that too well. And Izzy actually says that Riley is not emotionally stable enough for this game. Izzy is saying this. I'm sorry. Izzy is saying this. Do we have a tally of how many times Izzy has already broken down what? So Sari says, you know what? I'm not going to judge because I don't know what I would be like in that situation. You know, maybe I might be a crying mess too. Thank you. I feel like if Izzy were in Riley's position, when Izzy's time comes, she is going to be a disaster. But yeah, in other news, the house guests finally got their photos on the memory wall. Yay! So everybody was admiring each other's photos, saying, oh my God, we all look so hot. It is worth noting that Luke's photo was not included on the memory wall. Good. But yeah, with that memory wall up there now, I'd be nervous as hell if I was Sari or Jared. Are people going to start noticing, like, whoa, their faces look a lot alike? It's almost like they're mother and son. I mean, it's one thing to have both of them in the house, but like to actually have their photos like so close together and be able to look at them at the same time. Yeah. Anyway, Riley and Matt have a little check-in on the hammock, and Matt is asking Riley, are you good? Riley says, no, not at all. I mean, she knows she's going up on the block now, so I don't think she's feeling too good about that. But Matt says he's mad because somebody snitched on their group and let Hisam know that they're targeting him. They're all working together, yada, yada, yada. He says Hisam knows too much. So Matt says, Riley, you got to win this POV. We still have a chance to make it through this week. We can do this, but you got to get that win. So Riley's crying. She's like, I'm effed. She's wondering why Jared didn't save her with that nether region twist, right? She's like, I saved him last week. I used not the veto. I took him down from the block last week. So it seems like Jared found out what he was going to be able to do, and then he had a little bit of time to talk to people and think about his decision. But Riley says, like, I was begging Jared to save me, and he told me that he was convinced I wasn't going up on the block, and I told him that Hisam must have been lying to him because, you know, she knows now. Hisam told her she is going up on the block. So they agree. It's really weird that Jared picked Jag for safety instead of her. Uh-oh. So anyway, that will come up again. Matt says he tried to campaign for Riley to Hisam, but he just felt like Hisam wasn't budging at all, for sure. He's hoping that Corey will also be up on the block with Riley. Not happening. But Riley is just kind of surprised by this because she thought that Hisam was just like hell-bent on getting Corey out, right? Because Hisam was talking so much crap about Corey last week. So they're wondering like what changed here. So then Riley asks Matt, if you win the power of veto, would you take me off the block? These two have, you know, a lot of people have assumed that they're going to get into a showmance or whatever. They're very close. And it seems like they're definitely bonding. But like, would Matt use the veto on her? Matt says he would, but that would make him the target next week. And Riley's like, that's fine though. Like, Hisam can't play for HOH next week. He does have allies though. So Matt is saying he's not sure if Hisam would put him up as the replacement if somebody else saves Riley with that POV. Like if Riley were to win and save herself, he's worried he could be the replacement nominee. And that was Hisam's original plan or at the start of this week, whatever. Last week was a little different. He did believe in backdoors. But anyway, yeah, Matt is right on here that he would be in trouble. But they're really regretting at this point not making a bigger move last week. Riley says if it was anyone else besides Felicia up on the block, next to Kirsten, things would have been different. Oh, okay. So they had the nomination ceremony, and as planned, Hisam nominated Riley and Cameron for eviction. And after, Riley is talking to Blue on the hammock, and Blue says, don't worry. You've made a lot of strong connections in this house already. You've got people from our side. You've got Sari and Felicia super close to you. Like, you've got friends in here. And Blue is telling Riley, you're going to be fine this week. Yes, it would be great if you could win the power veto and just like save yourself outright. But even if you don't, you are not going home this week. I promise you. Is that true though? I don't know. So Riley says she wants to be confident. You know, she wants to believe that she has the votes to stay, but she just doesn't know. She's also not sure if she's Hisam's target, because if she is, people are not going to want to go against Hisam's wishes. But Blue is very confident that if the nominations stay the same, Cameron will go. At first I was like, no freaking way. Like, Riley is the number one target this week. But I feel like things have been shifting. I don't know. Maybe people will want to take out Cameron more than her. It's hard to say. So then Blue brings up, there are clearly some chatterboxes in our little circle, right? Somebody spilled all of our info, and now Hisam knows that you wanted to target him. So they're not sure who the leak is. Maybe Cameron? I mean, yeah, definitely Cameron. They don't realize Jared is also spilling all their info, and also like their own big mouths. They don't remember. They were very fast and easy with the info last week with a lot of different people. But anyway, Blue promises Riley if she wins the power veto this week, she will use it on her. We'll see. I don't know. So anyway, Riley and Sari were then chatting on the hammock, and Sari is also telling Riley, you are not going this week. So I'm not totally sure what Sari's game is here. I don't know if she's just trying to placate Riley, because she knows that Hisam's number one target is Riley, right? And she's working with Hisam very closely. So I don't know if she's just saying this to keep Riley calm, or if Sari does actually want to keep Riley over Cameron. And, you know, she's just putting this out there now to gain Riley's trust. And then eventually she's planning on like changing Hisam's mind. I don't know. It's hard to say exactly what the plan is here. But Sari is telling Riley, look, you're going to be safe. She thinks that Cameron is Hisam's real target because last week, Sari's spilling the tea. She says, last week, Cameron came downstairs and spilled everything about your side. And Cameron was saying that he was the one keeping everything together over there. So Sari is planting some seeds here to cause distrust on the other side. Oh my goodness, I don't think it's working. So Sari says, Riley, I've told you this before. You always have me and Felicia. And if it's you and Cameron up on the block on Thursday, I promise you I'm voting Cameron out. Again, is she? I don't know. I don't know anymore. But Riley is talking again about the Jared situation, how she begged Jared to save her with the Nether Regions twist. And Sari is like, well, think of it this way. Because Jared didn't save you, he still owes you for saving him last week. So if you don't win the power veto, you should have his vote, right? Because he owes you. So Riley's like, all right, well, I'm not mad at Jared. I love him. I could never be mad at him. And she says he seemed to really believe that she was not going to be going up on the block. But honestly, like, Jared really may not have known that Riley was going up, because he might have still been under the impression that Hisam was going to backdoor Riley, because that's what Hisam was saying he wanted to do before he won HOH. And keep in mind, Jared missed out on some important game talks on Thursday night because he was in the Nether region. So he may have never gotten the updated plan that Hisam was just going to put Riley up right off the back. So that might have helped him come across as more genuine, because he really didn't know what was going to happen. But anyway, they're counting out potential votes for Riley to stay. So they're counting Sari, Corey, Jared, Felicia, Blue, Matt. That's already 6. I mean, she's not counting like Jag here or America. Like, so she is like, okay, I got a good number of votes here, potentially. All right. So then Riley and Matt are chatting again. And Matt says, I just want to let you know, when I was talking to Hisam, he did tell me he does not want me to use the power veto if I win. I also have to mention, Matt doesn't seem to realize that if you win the power veto, you're safe, even if you use it on somebody else, because he's worried if he does win and use it on Riley, that he's going to go up in her place. That's not how it works. Come on, somebody tell him. But Matt says if he does win, he will try to talk Hisam into being cool with Riley coming down. He says he would even guilt trip Hisam and be like, look, Riley's really important to me. Riley was the first person that made me feel comfortable in this house. Like when I can't hear, she makes sure that I understand what's going on and she tells people to speak up or whatever. So he might use that angle if it comes down to it. So then Riley reveals to Matt, hey, guess what? Cameron was the one that spilled all of our information, right? Because she just found that out from Sari. So they know that Cameron is definitely playing both sides now. So Riley says, if I stay, we're going to have to start over here. We're not totally sure what our 8 is anymore. We don't know who is still loyal to this group. So we're going to have to rebuild from the ground up. So on the flip side, they're still feeling great about Jared. Both of them are. They both believe that Hisam played Jared and lied to him about nominations so that Jared wouldn't save Riley. Oh my goodness. But it's just funny because say Riley does stay and they rebuild their alliance next week. You know, Cameron won't be in it anymore because they know they can't trust him. But Jared is in it. So then what happens when this information gets out again? Then what? Are they going to realize that it's Jared, or is he going to get away with it again? I don't know. But anyway, Izzy and Hisam check in with each other in the backyard. And Hisam says, you know what? I'm actually liking Cameron now. He says, if I'm thinking, you know, as we build our army, if Cameron does what he's supposed to do and he makes it through this week, he could be a good number for us. No, he's a snake. Didn't you see what he just did to his other alliance? He sold them out. He jumped ship. You can't trust him. But Izzy agrees. She thinks that Cameron could be a number from them. And I'm shook about this because Izzy was just crying the other day about how much she does not like Cameron and about how creeped out she is by him. So she's like, no, I've been talking to him more. I feel good about him. Oh my God, what is this? So she asks Hisam, if you get house guest choice, are you going to pick Jared to play? And Hisam says, yes, I can trust Jared. He's a strong competitor. And Izzy agrees Jared would be the best choice. Why? What is this conversation? I thought they wanted Jared to keep playing the middle. If that's the case, why would you put him in this position? Because if he wins, he's going to have to show his hand, right? Riley would be expecting Jared to use the veto on him. And then if he leaves the nominations the same, that's going to be very telling. But Hisam says Jared brought the idea to him to pick him, and Hisam is on board with it. Too much. Okay, so Hisam is also talking about how he tried to instill a sense of dread in Matt if Matt were to win the power veto, because Hisam does not want Riley coming off the block. So he's trying to tell Matt, look, if you take down Riley, something else bad's going to happen. Oh my God. But yeah, they think that they should be good as long as Riley doesn't win the power veto. We'll see what happens. Okay, a little later, Sari and Jared are chatting in the comics bedroom, and Jared's like, man, I was really hoping that Hisam was going to backdoor Riley and not just like put her up outright. He's feeling like it's harder for him now to play the middle. Why are you asking to play in the POV then? But he says it's harder for him to play the middle because Riley is wondering why he didn't save her with the Nether Regions twist. So he's trying to come up with his cover story He's going to say, oh, I talked to Hisam and he told me that if I saved you, I would be going up on the block, like as retaliation. We'll see that come up. But Cirie says then, Izzy is so stupid. There was an incident where some of the house guests were talking about different reality TV shows, and Cameron was like talking about the mole or something, which I still haven't seen the reboot yet, and I really want to because I remember loving the original. But anyway, when he's talking about the mole, Izzy brings up the traitors. Why would you do that? And Cirie is like, oh, I was on that. She wasn't just on it, she won it. But anyway, Cameron's like, oh my God, it just clicked for me. That's where I recognize you from. Because he's like, I never watched Survivor. I didn't know you from that. But he says his mom is a huge fan of the Traitors. Uh-oh. But does he know that Cirie won? I don't know that he does. But Cirie is now nervous, like, oh shit. Cameron is talking about me being on the Traitors. Why would Izzy bring that up? That was really dumb. So guess what? Izzy walks in. So combo change, right? They can't be talking about that in front of Izzy. So Jared is saying to Cirie, oh, Hisam wants me to play in the power veto. And Cirie says, all right, well, if you get picked, you got to throw it. But don't make it obvious, right? Thank you. So Jared says he knows. Okay, I was really worried that he was going to like go for it and then he's not going to be able to play in the middle anymore. But anyway, the feeds went down for a little bit, and in that time, Jag returned from the nether region. So when he got back, he was like telling everyone about a nether gorgon, you know, like the Demogorgon from Stranger Things or like from D&D if you guys play. I'm pretty sure he's making this up, but it would be funny if they had some sort of a nether region monster that would like greet them when they get there. Anyway, Jag and Jared go up to the Sky Bridge to chat. And Jag says it was a blessing and a curse to go to the nether region. He thanks Jared because, of course, now Jag is safe for the week. Dang. Yeah, that's really exciting, right? So he's like, thank you so much. But he's also wondering, like, why? Why did you pick me? What was your reasoning for picking me? Especially knowing that Riley was going to be in trouble this week. So Jared is pushing his story that he was played by Hisam. He thought that Cameron and Matt would be going up on the block, not Riley. And he also said, I thought that the best way to save my team without showing my hand would be to save Jag. Jared is also saying I had to look out for myself too, because if I'm in trouble, then I can't help my team. So he's like, I had a conversation with Hisam before, and he hinted to me that if I did save Riley, that he would have nominated me. So Jag is like, okay, I get it. So then Riley joins them. And I'm sure Jag is all too happy to be safe this week, right? He's like, whatever. But Riley joins them, and Jared says if the POV is used, he feels like he might be the replacement nominee. Now, we know obviously that's not true, but he is trying to spook this side of the house because they don't want Jared to go up. So it's just giving them more food for thought. Like, should we be using this veto if we win? But Jared's like, yeah, I'm the next biggest competitor. Like, I could definitely be going up as the replacement. So maybe we like shouldn't use the veto. But Jag brings up, moving forward, we really need to make it clear that R8 is done. It's not a thing anymore. We also need to make it clear that we're free agents now. Good luck with that. So Riley does let these two know that Cameron was the leak in their alliance. It's just funny hearing her say this to Jared, who was an even bigger leak in their alliance. But Riley, oh my God, she's like, Cameron had good intentions when he was spilling all of our info. Like, he was doing it to try to save us. Stop. Do you hear yourself right now? Who do you think he was trying to save? Himself. Oh my God. Okay, but anyway, a few quick things from last night before we move on to today. Late last night, Jag and Blue solidified their final two alliance. Honestly, I thought they already had a final two, so whatever. Um, Riley, Jag, Matt, and America were all up super late chatting, like in different conglomerations or configurations. And they're talking about how they've got to win this power veto. Like somebody from their group has to win, and then they can start rebuilding their alliance. Their ideal situation at the time, they were thinking, would be Matt winning the veto, using it on Riley, and then they would hope that Corey would be the replacement nominee. So they would have Corey versus Cameron. And I wasn't expecting this. Between the two, they would actually want to keep Corey over Cameron at this point. I mean, they know now that Cameron is playing both sides, so they would rather keep Corey around. They don't realize that Corey is also playing both sides, maybe even more so than Cameron. But they feel like even if Riley does stay on the block, they will have numbers to keep her against Cameron. Okay, we'll see. In other news, this is hilarious. Apparently, Cameron thinks that Felicia is Denzel Washington's sister. What? Where did this come from? I guess he's thinking that there are multiple people on the season that are related to like celebrities or something. If only he knew. But what does he think this is? Claim to fame? It is a fun show. If you're not already watching it, highly recommend. But anyway, that's wild. So this morning, Jag is changing up the plan. Before, they were saying ideal situation, Matt wins POV, saves Riley. But now Jag is thinking if someone from our group wins the power veto, it would be best to leave those nominations the same because Hisam does not want the veto used. So if we don't use it, gain some favor with him. Plus, they feel pretty comfortable that they would have the votes to keep Riley over Cameron. So they're like, let's gain favor with Hisam, still keep Riley, get rid of Cameron who's playing both sides. Plus, they don't know who the replacement nominee would be if Riley were to come down. So the devil you know is better than the devil you don't, right? So they figure we have the votes for Riley to stay. We don't know if we would have the votes for whoever would go up in her place. So they're starting to change things up a little bit here. We'll see how it goes. So then it sounded like this morning, Jag had the power because of the nether region to block one person from playing in the power veto competition. Interesting. So it seems like they're doing some sort of a chain reaction thing here where someone picks somebody to go to the nether region. They either get like a reward or a punishment or something. Then they pick somebody else. And it's like this whole chain reaction throughout the week. So it seems like Bowie volunteered to go to the nether region here. And he did end up picking her. So I don't know what she gets out of it, but she is in the nether region. And Riley seemed kind of annoyed that Jag picked Bowie because she feels like it was a missed opportunity. Yeah, I would say so. Bowie is like barely even playing the game. But anyway, she was really thinking that Red would have been a better option to pick because if Red were to win the veto, he would potentially save Cameron, right? And they do not want Cameron coming off the block because then they're going to have two people from their alliance up. I mean, Cameron is technically in their alliance, but like not really anymore. But yeah, so Riley really felt like this was a missed opportunity on Jag's part. I would have to agree. I don't know why he did that because I remember last night, like late last night, Jag was talking about how if he did have the opportunity to give somebody some sort of a negative thing from the nether region, he was considering picking Red again because he is close to Cameron. So maybe he just didn't want to like show his hand and like make an enemy out of Red. I don't know. But anyway, they also had the POV player picks this morning. The host is Nicole. Hisam picked Matt out of the bag. Cameron picked America. And Riley got house guest choice. So she decided to pick Baloo. Woo! If you look at that lineup, Riley is thrilled by these picks, right? She feels like it could not have been better for her. These are all her allies. And remember earlier, Blue was promising if she won the veto, she would use it on Riley. But like Blue is already trying to go back on her promise. She's telling Riley, yeah, so if Matt or America win, they should definitely save you. But if I win the veto, I think we need to talk about it. We need to talk about our long-term strategy here. Yes, she's actually already going back on it before she even won. She definitely doesn't want to piss off Hisam, right? She wants to try and still stay cool with him. She's trying to get that queer alliance going with Hisam and Izzy. And if she takes Riley off the block, he's done with her. So it's just funny how quickly she's going back on that. But anyway, the house guests have been waiting for the POV comp now. I think it's actually going on now. I think the feeds have been down for a little bit before we started. So there were a lot of what if combos leading up to it. What if this person wins? What if this person comes down? Blah, 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 blah. And as a result, it seems like Hisam is really rethinking his targets. Riley is still target number one for him, for sure. But Cameron does not seem to be target number two anymore. Hisam is feeling really good about Cameron. He wants him around as a number. Okay. Now Hisam is saying if Riley comes off the block, he would want to put Blue up and get her out. Damn, that's quite a change up because before Hisam was all like, I'm not going to put up another member of the LGBTQ community, but like, I guess he would. Pretty wild. But yeah, that's where we're at. I believe the POV is happening right now. And if you guys want to check back later for the results, I will post the winner in the info for the spoiler. Just a reminder, there is no spoiler tomorrow because it's my day off. But we will be back for the episode recap tomorrow night. So before we call it a day, I want to thank today's super chatters. You guys are amazing. All right, let's take a look here. Mom sent me a picture. Okay, of her notes. Okay, so I want to thank our super chatters. Oh, okay, I just got part two. Jody Cortez, thank you so much. Jody says, hello, all. Hello, governor. Thank you. Angela H, thank you so much for the super chat. Camila Gamba, thank you so much. Oh, mom said see chat. I hope I can scroll back. Let me see. Oh, I can. Okay, I can just use this then. Camila says, Maddie, on the painting in the room that you usually chat from, is there a couple in the bottom right corner? My house is divided. Okay, the painting in the room that we usually chat from. I'm trying to think what painting that is. Oh my God, let me see if I can pull up a thumbnail. I'm drawing a blank on what the painting is. Okay. Oh, yeah, it does look like there's a couple in the bottom corner. Good eye. I totally forgot that was even there. Yes, I believe you are right. There is a couple in the bottom corner. Very nice. Thank you again for the super chat. Autumn Pond, thank you so much for your super chat. And Autumn says, been joining you guys since the cookout formed seasons ago. First time contributor. That's so awesome. I'm so glad that you've stuck with us. We really, really appreciate that. And thank you for the support. Sean Davis, thank you so much. Sean says, Cameron is getting weirder by the day. I don't know how these house guests stare at the memory wall and don't see a resemblance between Suri and Jared, right? I feel like it's got to be more obvious now that they do have the memory wall photos, but we'll see if anybody picks up on it. I don't know. Annie 8, thank you so much for the super chat. And this is Annie's first. Woo! Thank you so much. Uh-oh, my phone has 10% battery. Wendy Will, thank you so much for the super chat. All the way from Canada. Wendy says, love your updates. You always brighten my day. That's so sweet. Thank you so much. Dawn MH302, thank you for the super chat. We appreciate that. Susan Pengilly, thank you so much. Also from Canada. Much love to Canada. Thank you. Darby C, thank you so much. Darby says, enjoy your day off. Thanks. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do with my day off. We don't have a show tomorrow, like a musical tomorrow. I think we might like go for a walk around the neighborhood or something. I don't know. Hopefully some swimming. We'll see what happens, but thank you. Christine, thank you so much for the super chat. Christine says, I don't watch Survivor, so I didn't know Suri at all. It has taken me no time at all to become Team Suri. I hope she wins. Right? Suri, not only is she an amazing gamer, so fun to watch, but she also just seems like such a genuine person. You can tell she really cares about all these people. It is awesome to watch her play, and I'm just so glad that we have this opportunity because we usually only get to see her like on edited episodes, right? So it's good to see that she's just as good on the live feeds as she is on episodes of like Survivor or The Traitors or whatever you're watching. So yeah, I totally agree. She's awesome. Mary Ellen L, thank you so much. And hello, kitty cat. Fun. Nakul Suresh, thank you so much. This is Nakul's first super chat. Yay! Been watching you for years. You're my favorite updater. That's so sweet. Thank you. I really appreciate that. The G of Guthrie, thank you so much. They said, small request, tape up a pic of Lammy on the fridge. I would love to get some pictures of Bowie and Lammy printed to put on the fridge for sure. And then it could be like they're just over my shoulder when we do this, right? Also, I just want to look at them because they're beautiful. Thank you again. Okay. Oh, Sam, is it Reuter or Reuter? Thank you so much, Sam. You are so generous. Oh my God. And it's your first super chat. Thank you so much. Sam says, longtime viewer, first time donor. Thank you for all your hard work. I don't know how anyone else. Wait, I don't know how else I'd have gotten through BB19 and All Stars 2. Oh my God. It's crazy even just to think back to those seasons because they were a lot. I just remember being mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually exhausted by those. But I'm glad we went through it together, right? Thank you so much. Seriously, you're amazing. Let me see. I just want to make sure I don't miss anyone. Christian, thank you so much for the super chat. Christian says, made a live show this season. Hopefully I can make another one. Thanks for all you do. It makes watching the show so much better. Thank you for being here. I'm glad when you guys get to watch live. I think it's so special and fun. Like watching it on the playback is also cool, but there's just something so fun about the live chats, I think. Oh, well, anyway, I think I got everybody. I hope I got everybody. So thank you all so much. I hope you're having a great Saturday so far. I've got D&D. I'm supposed to be out of here in like 20 minutes, so I got to get it together. But thank you. We'll see you tomorrow night for the recap. And until next time, much love. Bye, everybody.